Changing minds one thought at a time.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Motivate Social Podcast, where we bring you people who are changing the world via social media. Today, we are having a special series in the Dear Mom Anthology Speakers. And today, we're going to, of course, talk to Vanessa Canterbury, who is the compiler of this lovely book, and she's going to tell us who we're speaking to today.
We are speaking with amazing Deidre Norville. I have met her via social media, and we made a connection. And it is such an honor when people see the vision of the anthology, and she jumped right on board. So this is such a pleasure for her to be able to be coming out as an author and to be able to share her chapter in the book called Dear Mom. Deidre, are you there?
I am here, Vanessa. I am here. Thank you for having me on tonight. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you are so welcome. So we're going to jump right on into it. Please tell the audience, why did you jump on board this amazing project called Dear Mom? Because everybody have their own perspective, but this is for you. This is your night. This is your spotlight. So go ahead. Let them know why you jumped on board to Dear Mom.
Well, I believe I jumped on board because I looked at your profile, I looked at what you did with Dear Dad and a couple of your other books that you wrote, and I knew I had a story to tell. I just knew that there was a testimony in the relationship that I had with my mom, and then after connecting with you, it just set well in my spirit that this was the time for me to put my story into writing. So that's basically
so can you
why.
Tell us, can you tell us more about your chapter?
Sure. So my chapter is called Am I Becoming My Mother? And the basis of the story is about the relationship of me and my mother over the years, and it really started before I was even born. My mom went through some things in her first marriage, and that kind of, affected the way we went about life and our relationship. So I think it's a great story and a testimony that many people may be able to relate to because it really explains our journey. And the biggest part of it is that it explains how God kind of put together this relationship, the dynamics between a mother and her daughter.
When I read your chapter, I have to be honest. I seen the headline. I said, ooh, I'm loving this. Ooh, I'm loving this. Because oftentimes we as women, we have asked ourselves that question, and then we want to evaluate like, ooh, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Or, ooh, do I need to make adjustments? Or is it a turn off? You know what I mean? And so when I read into your chapter, I said, I'm really loving what she's saying. So I'm not going to give it away. But it really caught my attention. I said, don't touch nothing. Don't touch this. Don't touch it because this is a good one. And oftentimes we as women, and we bump heads with our mother. And so when I was, reading this chapter and then just reading all the others authors that's in this book, I said, my goodness, this is just absolutely amazing. The different dynamics of all the relationships that's taken place with the moms. And I'm just loving the fact that all the authors were transparent. The layout was like perfect. I was like, I can't even touch this. How do you touch something like this? And it's just giving more people that hope of no matter what the relationship is that we have with our mom, It's something that we could be able to take. It's something that we can add on to. There's some things that we could be able to look at ourselves and say, okay, how can I do better type of a situation? And in the way you have laid it out, girl, I just can't wait till they read this book here. So tell them, when did you tell your mom that that you writing about her in a Dear Mom book?
No, I didn't. My family knows, and I believe my mom knows because my mom has 8 sisters, so we're all friends on Facebook, and we're a pretty close knit family, and partly because I'm an only child, I'm close with my aunts. So my aunts know, but they probably have no idea or can't even imagine how I would tell this story between me and my mom. So it's definitely going to be a surprise, but I think it's a good surprise. I think it's given me a voice, and it shows, most of all, like I said before, it just shows the grace and the love of God and how He can just kind of manifest His grace and mercy through our relationship and help us grow, me and my mom, as women.
Yes. And now, when you were writing your chapter and you were thinking about how your mother was going to react and all the other emotions that come down, what did you learn from your chapter?
I think I learned that my perspective is my perspective. My mom's perspective may be different, and so there's a difference in that. And I want to say that I was very careful in saying what may have been affecting my mom and what may have been affecting me and where that comes from. But we have an obligation because we believe in our Savior, Jesus Christ, to love each other no matter what we've been through and no matter what it looks like, no matter what her perspective is, no matter what mine is. So I've learned that even though we may look at the situation differently, we still are required. The Bible commands us to love each other. And even for me as the daughter, I'm commanded to love and honor my parents. And I feel like now I can do that because I just understand sometimes we have differences of perspectives.
That's a good one. That's a good one. So my thing is, what do you think your mom will say once she reads this book? Well, I mean, can you please take a picture as well? But what would your mom say when she finally gets this book in her hand? And, man, what would you think your mom would say?
I think she's going to say that my mom has always been really, really proud of me, because of everything that we've been through. She's always said, the reason why she didn't have another child is because I was so much for her, and she just likes how I don't fit into the mold of anything, and it's never what she may have expected. And so I think that she'll be proud. I think that she'll be proud of me for being able to kind of, just give my truth and give my perspective and just kind of share our story. We had talked about writing a book together. And so, you never know. This could be the start of that. I figured, I need to start somewhere. And so I think that she'll be proud, and I think it will give, probably the platform for her to be more comfortable in just telling our story, because there's way more to it. We could only put so much in the book, but I think that it will give room for more.
Wonderful. And so now, have you thought about how you're going to present this to your mom, or how do you think that her reaction is going to be? You think she's going to be excited?
I have prayed about how I may present this to my mom, whether I'm just going to send a copy to her house or whether I'm going to, I just don't know. I don't know yet. I just don't know. But I do think that she'll be happy for me, only because she's just, I'm her only child. So I just believe that she's happy, for me and at the point I am in my life and the things that I've realized and how I've grown. So I think, like I said, I think that she'll be happy for me, and this will, maybe the original shock she may feel some kind of way, I think as kind of Black women and growing up how we have grown up, the different generations, I think my generation and then even my kids' generation, they share way more, right, with social media and all that. And so me being the first in our family to even share anything may be an initial shock for her. But I've prayed and just hope that she sees the reason, that it's important to share our stories, because I know that there's other moms and daughters out there that can relate and it can resonate with, and that they may be able to see and let the Lord kind of heal their relationships as well, just like He did with ours.
I'm loving this. I tell anybody that if they ever want to go in the route of becoming an author, I always tell them the best route is to go in an anthology type of way, because you get a feel. And the reason why they get a feel of it, because it's like, okay, I know a little, but I don't know. But they're starting to see the process. They're starting to see it come together. And then they start to see the reaction. And they start to see people want more. And then they start getting the writing bug. And that's usually what happens. And so don't be surprised if there's going to be, something that you're going to wind up doing on your own, because every single author with these series that I've been doing, they usually come back and say, okay, I'm ready to write that next book. And so, yeah, it happens, because every last one of these series, they get deeper and deeper and deeper. And you just can imagine how many homes are given hope again, how many people are being transformed again, how many people have now opened up their eyes and be able to say, dang, I would have never thought about it that way. And for me to be able to come from where I come from, God did not give me this vision for no reason. He gave me this vision because I overcome some things. And not only overcome some things, I'm able to be in a place in my life to be able to show people that it's the possibility of change. And sometimes change may not only be from the other person, just accepting whatever has transpired, but change within yourself and just knowing who you are, who you belong to, correct? And so I've been there, and I'm there in a place on a whole nother level where people haven't, they trying to get to that level. And so since I have reached that level of understanding that I didn't go through the things that I went through for a reason. He didn't give me this vision for no reason. So with your mom being so supportive of you, your mom and the things that you have transpired and the things that you have shared about your mother, we go through those things for a reason.
Yeah, we do. And we don't have to be ashamed of it, and we don't have to. Yeah, we don't have to keep it, we can't keep it to ourselves, because other people are going through this kind of stuff. And they need to know that there's hope, there's love, there's change, and it's a process, it's a journey, but it can happen. It can happen for them just like it. And nobody would have thought, like, people think, oh, you're an only child, you're just spoiled, you're this, or you probably got a great relationship with them. I mean, I have a good and intense relationship with my mother. And I love, like, I wouldn't be who I am if it wasn't for my mom, like, honestly. And so that's why I named the chapter, Am I My Mother? So I am like my mom. Thank God that I have some of her good qualities. You know what I mean?
Right.
She helped shape the woman that I am. But the journey and the love of Christ and the way he wants me to mother and parent my children now is a little bit different. We have to be way more transparent, and that's one of the biggest things that I've learned is that we have to be open, we have to be sharing, and we have to be transparent so that we can continue to grow.
From this book, what do you think that you want to pass on to your children? Let's say if they decided to say, are they becoming their mother?
Right. So I want to pass on to them that they should aspire to be what God has called them to be, that they don't have to be me. They don't have to be me, that they can be their individual, authentic self, just how Christ built them to be, because that's what they're here for. They're not here to be a replica of me. I'm responsible for them to teach them lessons and help them grow and things like that. But ultimately, they're here for a specific reason that only them and God know. And so I want them to be able to be free and be able to be authentic with that, and be able to fulfill the calling that they've been put here for. I don't want them to be bound and not feel free or not feel like they can't say anything or share, their experiences or anything like that. I don't want none of that to be passed on to my next generation.
Yeah, we want to pass on those type of behaviors to them. I'm a believer of that. At some point, we got to be able to put a stop to it, and we got to be able to the foundation that was laid out. Sometimes people's foundation is shaky, better yet, quicksand. But when you have a foundation that was already laid out for you, all you could do is build back on top of to make it even more stronger. And that's something that we got to keep passing on to the next generation, because at some point somebody got to be able to create new boundaries. And let them know the possibilities, especially when you know what was instilled in you, and that's very important.
Right.
So I'm just so honored, because for you to be just coming out, I know the conversations that we have shared. You are doing absolutely amazing and just sharing your story and your chapter. And one of the things that I want people to be able to know about you is that when you all in, right. And you could be able to have the most hectic schedule or what have you, but you will look, I'm catching up, I'm all in, to be able to share your story and share those quotes that we had, and you was very involved in that alone. I thank you so much for believing in me enough to say yes for a person who you met over social media. And I tell people oftentimes that you could be able to make some amazing connection because of the power of social media. And so I'm forever grateful. I got your number locked in, girl. Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You are so welcome. So tell them, how has this journey been for you? Especially this is your first time being an author, and now we're going to be a bestseller, because we've been blessed with all of them going to be bestseller. We're going to claim this one too. Amen. So
yes, we are. Amen.
Okay.
That.
Okay.
So the journey has been good. Like, I was so nervous, and I'm still nervous. I'm nervous talking on the phone, and I'm not even in front of a camera, but I just get so nervous in front of cameras and interviews, and I mean, I've been having to do them for the last year now, but even specifically about the book, it's just, it's just sharing some of the deepest parts of, the brokenness that I've experienced in my life. And so it's not like the easiest thing to do. And so in this journey, you have helped me, like, just become comfortable with that. And, like, basically, you didn't coddle me, though. You were like, you got to do it. So, why don't you want to do? You did ask me why not, and what is your fear? Okay, well, you got to get over that, and you got to come on. And you kind of, I didn't know, like, where to start in my book or, like, what to say in in this chapter, and you just helped me feel comfortable enough just to begin writing. You just said just start and do it. You kept us on time, on these time frames, and you kept us involved. You were doing these live videos. Sometimes I have to go back and catch them, like the next day or something, but you kept us updated. So I have no complaints about this process. I've never done it before, so I would tell anybody that I had a great first experience with this anthology. And so I thank you for that, Vanessa, really, because it can be some crazy stuff happening over social media. So I'm so glad that you were, and I knew when I first talked to you, you were so authentic when we talked, and I was like, oh yeah, I have a spirit of discernment, so and I think we both do, and that's why it worked out like this. So I had a good experience, really did.
Well, I'm so glad that this experience was great for you because, I can tell that you have a lot to share, and a lot of people are going to be blessed by your chapter. And, now that the book is pretty much getting ready to be in your hand, how do you see yourself going from here? Book signings or more interviews, things of that nature?
Okay, so I already said I'm so nervous about I don't know why I'm so nervous. Like, I've been a teacher for the last 8 years, and so I talk in front of people all the time. But like I said, just sharing your own brokenness and, what has happened to you in your life, I get excited when I share the other part about the joy of the Lord and what he's brought me through and what he's done and what he's doing in my life now. That's what takes the nerves away. So if I just think about his grace and glory, then I know that I could probably do an interview. I could probably do a book signing. If Vanessa says that she's coming, then I probably can. So I don't really know. I just know that she has some steps lined out, for us about like some things that we can do. Like I said, I've never done this before, so I don't really have it all lined up and, put in order or anything. I just have a link now. Now I have a link where people can pre-order the book, but that's where I've gotten so far.
Well, this is how we're going to do this. I tell anybody, no matter if you are a contributing author in a book, this is our book. I'm a believer. This is our book. There's no way a dear mom could be able to be birthed with not, by Vanessa. No, this is our book. This is our baby. And in order for other people to be able to know about our baby, we have to be able to share our baby, right? We have to share our baby with birth. And and that's why I always say birthing your book, because you didn't go through the things that you went through in your life. Your testimony, your story, your journey is somebody else's survival kit. And so we have to be able to take this higher. We got to be able to continue to do interviews. We have to do book signings. We have to continue to be able to share and let people know chapters of our book and things that we're working on, and just to be able to continue to be able to know who we are. So never just sit on a book. Never, never, never do that. That's what I tell everybody, okay? And books open up doors. You never know what door going to be able to open up. So you go ahead and you can be able to set up that book signing and let me know in advance. Absolutely, I will be there. Absolutely. I would love, for all the authors that, and I think I posted it up, to be able to come to the conference, because I would love to be able to do something for all the authors that's been in a series of these books, because it's amazing. If you think about, I was counting the authors when I was posting something. It's I think it's like 35 or more authors, and majority of, and some of the authors have done 1 or 2 books with me in an anthology,
wow.
or went on to be able to come back and say, I want to do my own individual book. That's absolutely speaks volumes, because you just really don't hear anything like that.
Right.
So I'm a believer. Continue to take your book higher. Continue to be able to do so much more with your book. Continue to share your story. And, you know, I'm a phone call away, but I want more people to be able to know about you and how they can be able to find you on social media, because once they read your chapter or hear this interview, how can they find out who the heck is this woman? Let them know. That's very important,
okay.
you know. So
you can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram at Professor Deidre. So it's Professor Deidre DEIDRE. You can also follow my. I'm a owner of a Black-owned beauty supply store here in Long Beach, California. So you can follow me at my store at R Essence. That's OUR Essence Beauty Supply. And you can find the link to pre-order the book on our website, actually, so at ouressencebeautysupply.com. So that is me, Deidre Norville.
Deidre, I am so proud of you. So proud of you. You stepped outside your comfort zone, and you did it. And even though you did it, and that alone is commendable. And just being stretched allows you to be able to continue to grow. So keep on being stretched, okay?
Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you. I appreciate it.
So you are so welcome. I know there's many more to come for you. So with that being said, Dr. Finch, let the audience know how they could be able to find us on social media, and they will be able to also hear this interview for Ms. Deidre, and this is going to be absolutely amazing. Thank you again for joining this amazing journey of the Dear Mom anthology, and it's going to be amazing, and it's going to be in your hands very soon. So, Dr. Finch, can you please take it away?
Thank you, Dr. Finch.
Thank you. Thank you, Deidre, so much for being on here tonight and sharing your story with us, and for us being just part of your journey into your authorship. We definitely appreciate that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Vanessa and Dr. Finch, for having me.
Yes,
you are so welcome.
And if you want to hear more about Deidre's story and the other authors in the Dear Mom anthology, then you definitely need to listen to all of the recordings at changingmindsonline.com. And then, of course, you can find us on social media at Changing Minds Online, or on Twitter at Change Mind Online without the E. So with that being said, thank you so much for listening tonight. We appreciate each and every one of you. Please reach out to Deidre and the other authors and find out more about this anthology so that these messages can be shared. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
You're welcome.